I wrote this story, Arnold and the Scarlet Macaw, with elements by Carla Sherman. The Brazilian beach at Rio de Janeiro drew a lot of surfers, bathers, and partiers. Arnold looked for something different. He liked to travel to Brazil during school breaks because he knew its rainforest close to the city and beaches as home. In fact, the 22-year-old man knew the city well. His father was ambassador to Brazil while he grew up, although his father said Arnold's mother did a better job enchanting officials with her parties. They're retired back in the United States, but Arnold still flew down during school breaks and some holidays. He spent some time with his parents, but they knew Brazil was home to their son. They often flew down to use his little cottage and spend time with him. He hoped when medical school was over, he could return there to practice medicine. He enjoyed the quietness of the city late at night in the old, less touristy district where he had a small cottage. He dealt with the stress of every day of pre-med. On breaks, he needed that silence before he started the more grueling demands of medical school. Arnold shook off his haze of memories and called out to his dear friend, Miss Scarlet Macaw, Miss Scarlet Macaw, as he sat on a downed log along the beach in his denim shorts and a white t-shirt. He dug his toes into the sand. Palm leaves and other dead vegetation littered the beach, giving off a sweet and sour smell of decay mixed with the salty ocean breezes. He waited. The bird was not tame, had never lived in a cage, and made her own choice to allow Arnold into her world. Somehow, the Scarlet Macaw had adopted the same spot on the log and allowed him to join her. Arnold felt a flutter against his arm and smiled. Miss Scarlet, as he dubbed her, perched on the log next to him. The bird tilted its head to one side and looked up at the young man. She gave off a loud, guttural screech. Arnold held out his hand. For some reason, the weight of the bird always surprised him. She seemed so light when he watched her fly. He put a peanut on his lower lip that he stuck out like a pout and raised Scarlet up close enough that she could grab it and enjoyed crunching it in her strong beak. She had never touched his lip when he'd feed her like that. Her big bright eyes would close as she took the treat. How she knew the exact place to peck without pinching him was a wonder without an answer. He hoped that he'd be that tender with his patience. Hello, Arnold. A beautiful young Brazilian girl called out to him as she walked up the beach toward him. Hola, Maria. He greeted her in Portuguese. Ah, are you speaking your native Portuguese today? She teased. No, I just wanted to say a proper Brazilian hello. Screech! The bird sounded in protest. Better give her another peanut, minha amigo. Maria's accent was so familiar to Arnold that he barely noticed it. What are you doing over here feeding Miss Scarlet instead of having fun? Did you hear that, Miss Scarlet? Maria doesn't think you're fun. The bird paid no attention as it crumbled the peanut in its beak. Then Miss Scarlet fluttered her wings enough to give Arnold the message that she was done and wanted to go. He and the animal had bonded enough over years to build a sort of communication. He sat her on the log and handed her another nut before she flew back to her perch in the tree. Come dancing, you need fun, Maria insisted. He couldn't resist her bright smile and persuasion long. He followed her to the boardwalk where musicians played various Latin songs. After a few minutes, Arnold felt more energized. I know my Arnold, Maria bragged. You should. We practically grew up together. Minha amigo, you could not kiss me then. You can kiss me now. Oh, that's what you're after. He chuckled. He chuckled and kissed her on the back of her hand. There you go. Ah, that is all? For now, yes, minha amiga. He had no desire to start any romantic relationships with such a good friend and then leave for 4 years of med school. Maybe if he returned after graduation, it would be different. He would always have Miss Scarlet Macaw. Thank you for your contributions, Carla Sherman. She contributed Arnold for the name and 22 for the age, a Scarlet Macaw for the bird, and a beach for the scene. We'll see you on Monday. I love all of you. Thank you and good night. Be sure to smile and wave. There's your kiss. Good night.